Hi, everybody. I actually almost missed the transition because of all these lovely people on screen. Hey, what's up? Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to session 2 of The Soul's Confidant, an Invisible Sun campaign. If you weren't here last week, Invisible Sun is a system created by Monty Cook Games set in the very, very surreal world of Saturine and the Actuality. I am your game master, Mare. Before we super get started and get into the gist of things, everyone's going to go around and say who you are, who you're playing, your character sentence, and something new this week since we are now on session 2, anything that you would like to talk about that you did during downtime. If you didn't know, Invisible Sun assumes at least a minimum of 1 week between sessions where we all get to do developmental scenes. So, since someone's being a brat, Alex, you get to go first.
What? I'm sorry. I've never done anything wrong in my entire life.
Show them how it's done with explaining the developmental, TLDR.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, this is going to be real short because honestly, the only thing that Eleanor got up to over the course of the past week was, one, she brought the Curse Maker some food because they had a really rough time of it last week, and we just wanted to make sure that they're doing okay. So, brought the Curse Maker some food, and then got a copy of the picture from Lillian and tried to have a conversation with the unseen children to see if we could find out who our mystery art thief was.
Yes, and who are you playing, and what's her character sentence?
Okay, yes, hello. My name is Alex. You can find me on Twitter at AxolotleCure. Today, no, shit, I'm not AxolotleCure anymore. Fuck! I knew I was going to do that one point. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at PhoenixAxolotl. Today, I am playing Eleanor, who is a connected, empathic maker who revels in beauty.
Thank you. And now we'll go back into the order. Hamnah.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. Today, I will be playing Roshni, who uses they, them pronouns, and Roshni is an itinerant ardent of the Order of Weavers who caught fire's eye. What has Roshni been up to for the past week? If we recall, there was a theft that occurred at the Fridge Art Gallery and Community Fridge. So Roshni went around their contacts, specifically around the entertainers that they know, to ask them if they had heard anything about this or if they had seen the person that Lillian had the foresight to take pictures at this place. And so we have an idea of what this person looks like. So Roshni went around asking if anybody had seen them or had heard of them.
Okay, and C.
Hey y'all, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. I am playing Alecto the Curse Maker, an eremitic stoic apostate who converses with everything. This week, Alecto cleaned up their shop after their break-in. And they asked their landlord, Rafi, about it, considering that the person who stole from their shop came in through Rafi's door. Unfortunately, the tiger slept very, very well that night and doesn't know anything about somebody who might have broken into their shop. Similarly, Alecto's curse contact packs came in to sell them 2 new curses, and also did not hear anything of note, although Alecto did promise to pay triple for the next series of curses if she came back with good information. And that's what Alecto was up to this week.
Wait, is your landlord a tiger?
My landlord is a tiger, yes.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Tigerless stripes. Tigerless stripes.
So, yeah, we'll get to him if he ever shows up, because he's pretty rad. Lillian.
Hi, I'm April. I am playing Lillian Yoon, a bizarre ardent from the Order of Goetic who splinters into fragments. And this week, I developed photos of everything that happened, all the photos from the fridge, as well as any other photos she had to develop for the week. Did some research on the artist and the art piece that Eleanor referenced, and did a short visit with the auntie, with Why Not.
Beautiful. And last but not least, we have Val and Ishmael, who is also going to do our game recap from last session.
Sure thing. Hi everyone, I'm Valiant. You can find me at twitter.com / @Valiant. I'll be playing Ishmael, who uses he, they pronouns, and I use he, him, his pronouns. Should I do the recap first or the downtime first?
Let's do downtime and then recap.
Sounds good. Ishmael, during his downtime, I think spent time attempting to uncover more information about this figure who he does in fact recognize. Someone who he is incredibly familiar with and has gone to ensure that all stones were unturned this time, and unturned they were. And he had come across additional information that would hopefully provide some light on this predicament that this group finds themselves in, and specifically the curse maker with their item. And that is all I will say on that. We cannot get through the rest in game. Previously, in the Soul's Confidant, I found myself being reacquainted with many individuals who I've met in significantly different circumstances. A tall individual by the name of Cursemaker, who had given me an ominous warning once. Lillian, another goetic that I frequently see over at the Order. A individual I had met by connected conversation tubes. And Eleanor, whom I owe many thanks for this necklace. During this meeting, however, we found ourselves in a crisis. The Cursemaker's item, missing, stolen. Being named the Cursemaker, that can only bring ill will and misfortune. And misfortune it did bring. As we all hurried ourselves towards the fridge, the art gallery, whom Yasser had been bellowing about for the better part of several weeks, we found ourselves attempting to try and find any sign of this curse, this item. I had not been filled in at this point. I wish I asked more questions. I wish I paid more attention. But unfortunately, my awareness had failed me. Just as I was about to pay more attention to this missing item, everyone, the attendants, found themselves amidst this curse, eyes upon them. I felt its influence briefly before gathering my senses, attempting to seek out any individual who would pay attention, who would be acting out of the ordinary. And there they were. Familiar figure who I had thought long gone, vanished from ether, before me again. We exchanged a single glance, and off the fridge they stepped off. Before I could go further after them, it seemed they had vanished once again, away from me. But no matter. I will find more answers. I had observed the process that the Cursemaker undergoes to secure such items. Excruciating, painful, difficult. However they came across this item wasn't easy. It seems there's some answers that even I was not privy to. My friend, what have you gotten yourself into?
Thank you. before I get into reading the first card, I would like to reiterate to everyone that Invisible Sun was designed for mature audiences. Sex, drugs, crimes, violence, body horror, classism, some degree of BDSM aesthetic are present in the core rules of the game, though may not be used in our game exactly. Everyone in the cast is using safety tools on and off stream, and specific content warnings for our game include violence, depression, strained complicated relationships, and self-destructive behavior. Now, the first card of the game. As always, on the Silver Sun, the Sun of Beginnings, we have the Incriminating Skull. Value of 5, Secrets Raven, Books and Flame. Meanings: disaster, discovery, evidence, connections, and friends and family. The skull is uncovered, revealing a long-buried wrong. It is evidence of a crime. However, the skull was once a person, and that person's family and friends miss them. They wonder what happened to them, and discovering the remains of the victim actually brings them some comfort and closure on the situation. The evidence that is uncovered might be the result of a long investigation, or it might be entirely accidental and inadvertent. It might be something that people have long searched for, or the remains of something that no one even knew was missing. Last, it might be something that someone was trying to actively conceal, or it might just be the remains of some past event covered up only by time. Gold magic is enhanced and silver is hindered. We start off at the game with Lillian. April, would you like to describe Lillian's home and what they are doing how they develop their photos and what their darkroom is like?
So when you walk up or drive up or however you get to places, Lillian's home is made of, it looks like just giant panes of glass that form the walls. The door is even made of glass. But as you look at the glass, you realize that it's all covered in writing of different languages, runes, texts, all kinds of different things. And as you stare at it longer, you see the walls in the house are shifting constantly and changing as mechanisms move things to where they need to be, whether that be where the house needs it to be or where you need it to be. Who knows? The door for your bedroom might be on the other side of the room tomorrow. The house has a mind of its own. How it's controlled, Lillian doesn't really know. But as you come into the house and start walking the house, you start to see that some of the glass is different colors and shades, which provides some privacy, which is how her dark room stays dark. It's one of the few rooms where the walls are almost completely black glass. You cannot see through it. Light does not shine through. But if you are to stare at the glass, you still see the etching of the runes and the writing in it. You see her just developing pictures as if this was the world of shadow. Like, there's no magic involved in her. She has the developer, she has the bath, the stop. She has the big canisters for taking the film out so as not to ruin it. It is weirdly mundane how simple and normal this process is, but it is one of the things that keeps Lillian grounded, and one of the few times where she thinks everything is normal and back as it should. And she is just developing extra copies of everything. She always develops extra copies of everything. One for the paper, one for the files, one for the paper, one for the files, pictures for the friends, pictures for the files. It's always good to have a paper trail.
I'm glad.
For some reason.
I'm glad Lillian and I have that in common.
See her, and she develops a set of the photos of all the photos from the fridge for everyone, a set for Eleanor, Roshni, Ishmael, and Alecto, just in case there's something else that was missed.
As you are developing your photos, they're hanging up to dry from after being developed. You hear someone's voice that you have never heard before, briefly from above you. Is that little Lillian I see? You've gotten so much bigger.
Hello?
Up here, sweetheart.
And she walks out of the room and looks up.
The sound is coming from in the room.
Oh, oh, great. And she looks up in the room in the very dark room.
Sorry, a little down farther. Just right above eye level.
Hello?
And in front of you, hanging on the walls, are your developing photos. And in one of these photos, almost leaning like where the photo meets open air, you see the figure, it's a photo of Yasar and Eleanor from when you took the picture of the two of the co-workers putting everything together. And it's definitely not Yasar's voice speaking, but this image of Yasar is kind of leaning on the edge of this photo, looking down at you. It is. How are your parents? Are they doing well?
How is this happening? You're not who you are.
Who am I supposed to be?
Who do you think you are?
Well, I know who I am. Do you not remember me? I used to work with your parents. You know, your parents, are you, what? You're Visley, right? I remember you moving
there.
Yes. Because I remember you moving things when you were a kid showing Visley potential, so you're probably still a Visley. Did you join the Order of Goetica, or did you become a, artsy weaver?
I recently arrived here, and yes, I did join the Order of but how do you know I don't know my family.
Ooh, this is awkward. Yeah, that's real awkward. Anyway, I worked with your parents. We did some work together when we were before the war.
Can you tell me about them? Can you tell me about their work? I've been trying. Oh, this is awkward.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Ilford. That's obviously not my real name. A fool of an angel or demon or some entity giving their real name would be a fool, but you can call me Ilford.
Sorry, angel or demon? Are you one of the two?
Of course. Please. I'm not some hoity-toity angel. And as this figure of Yasar is talking, the figure of Yasar kind of settles back into just like, standing next to Eleanor, like when they were posing to take that photo. And then the image of Eleanor moves and takes their own position up towards the front of the photo.
Should you maybe come out of the... No.
Sorry, this is just how I communicate. I'm not coming out anywhere. But your parents did a lot of work with me in terms of, we're chit-chatting, making deals, and all that fun stuff you Goetics like to do. They're very good speakers. Where are they, by the way?
Well, recently I woke up here, alone.
Oof.
There were no parents, there were no others.
Not even the dogs?
The dogs. There's a cat that comes and goes, but no dogs. Why would there be dogs?
I don't know. Listen, they're called familiars, honey. You do have a lot of catching up to do. Should I come back another time?
I wonder if Roshni's here. Maybe they would understand better. Or could you wait just a moment?
I'm not going anywhere.
And she kind of like backs out of the room. I need to Roshni or Ishmael would know what to do.
This is the day after, so I think we established that Roshni was staying at your house the day after.
We did. So she's going to go to the guest Roshni room and knock on the door very gently, like, are you here by any chance?
What time is it?
What time is it, Lillian?
It would be first thing in the morning that she like. This was the first thing she did. Is she woke up, made coffee, and made the pictures.
I do not think Roshni is a morning person, so I think that they are very much like asleep, conked out at this point.
Checks out.
So I think at first when you're knocking, like they don't hear you. But if you listen close enough, I think you can maybe hear the sound of snoring coming from inside, so you know that somebody's there.
Roshni, sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but could I borrow you for a moment?
What?
There's a picture of Eleanor speaking about being a demon.
Eleanor's a demon?
Well,
I mean, that explains her behavior from yesterday, to be honest, but...
No, the picture of Eleanor is speaking, and I don't quite understand or know how to process this.
What? Okay, a picture is... Okay, Lillian, can you just give me like 5 minutes? I have not woken up yet, and so just
Would
give
you
me
like a
5
coffee?
minutes. Yeah, actually, that would be great.
She just already has one ready for you.
I think Roshni takes it and just kind of like very quickly like downs it, almost as if it's like a shot of espresso, which I assume it's not.
Chug,
and
chug,
they just
chug.
they just kind of like drink it. And they kind of like smooth their hair back, which is like puffed up in all sorts of very unattractive ways. So they're just kind of smoothing their hair down. Okay, you said there was a picture of Eleanor that is a demon. Okay. Did you summon this one?
No. I was developing the photos and they started talking to me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go talk to this demon. Did you do anything different this time, developing the photos?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. Just develop the photos as normal.
Okay. Yeah, let's go talk.
They don't typically talk back, though.
Interesting.
Depends where you go.
Do you think maybe and I think Roshni is just like checking themselves. Do you think maybe we took another curse with us or something from the curse maker shop yesterday?
I have a feeling if we took one without knowing, they would have come here and taken it back.
Maybe they didn't notice?
No, after the one interaction I've really had with the curse maker, they seem to notice and react badly when their curses are not where they should be.
No, you're right. And this doesn't feel quite like...
This doesn't feel like a curse. No, this feels like a friend.
Oh! Well,
Almost.
Why didn't you just say that? You said demon.
I am very confused.
Well, if it's a friend, I say we go talk to them. Maybe they have something interesting to tell us.
You're right. Let's go talk to Demon Eleanor Photo.
And I think, given how often Roshni has slept over at Lillian's house, I think they probably know where the dark room is. They don't often go in there out of respect for Lillian and Lillian's things. I don't think they spend a lot of time there, but they know where it is. So I think Roshni just kind of grabs Lillian's hand and just steers her over to the room.
Easy enough. And when the two of you re-enter into the dark room, the first picture that had Yassar and Eleanor is still.
It was that one, but
I'm over on this one now, honey.
Oh, sorry. Ford, this is my friend Roshni. I thought maybe they could help.
And this photo, which the original photo, Lillian, was just of a crowd, which specifically had Roshni in it, just walking across the thing. But now the image of Roshni is reclining on a large installation, feet off the ground, absolutely lounging. And it just kind of waves at you.
Roshni waves back, kind of leans in really close to get a better look at this photo. Oh, darling, I look really good in that photo.
Why do you think I switched over?
That is not what the
photo
photo
good taste.
Yeah.
looked like.
You and the other guy and the other guy.
Which other guys?
There's a lot of other guys in these photos who have good style. But anyway, welcome back, my dear.
So this is happening, right? You hear this?
Yeah.
You're a
it's
Vizlay.
really
This is Vizlay
curious.
bullshit.
Okay, Vizlay bullshit.
Never been able to talk to an object before. Lillian, do you
Yeah.
think we are gaining new abilities? Do you think we unlocked something yesterday?
Oh gods, I hope not.
No. This is exciting. Okay, so demon, me, person in there in the photo.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Why are you here?
I was hoping to talk to Lillian's parents, but apparently they aren't here, so I might come back another day. So
Roshni just kind of glances over at Lillian at the mention of her parents.
Don't remember having parents here.
Winifred and Osmond lived here. We'd have a lot of meetings here.
There are paintings of them in this home, yes.
Yes.
But I've never met them that I know of.
They just kind of give you... What? Look. The look Alex is giving right now is exactly what's happening.
Well, so that's not necessarily true. I do know my parents, but not these parents.
They might still be in shadow, darling. They may not have come
Huh.
back yet.
I never said about going to Shadow. Huh.
Do you,
So they
do
said
you
their
think
work
they-
was too important to do here, but I'll see if I can find them.
Work? What kind of work?
This isn't for years, my dear.
Oh, anything that I would just tell Roshni anyway.
Not technically for your ears either, darling.
Oh, come on. She's the daughter of these two people that you're looking for. Surely you can trust her.
Maybe if you make a pact with me,
Um,
but we can talk about this in a more relaxed setting, where I'm not talking to you through these lovely, lovely, fashionable people.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes, I give credit where credit's due.
but a pact. I remembered that. That's what I'm supposed to be. That's what we goetics. That's what we do, correct? We make pacts.
I don't know. I just do the talking with you. I'm not a goetic, but anyway, do
Oh.
some lovely research. Maybe meet one-on-one. I watch. I listen. I'll come back at some point, but ta-ta.
Wait.
And the image stills back into a walking Roshni, and it's quiet.
Oh, we should have gotten a name.
Ilford.
Right.
That was the
Right.
name they gave me originally.
Ilford.
They knew me and my parents,
They knew you. So
But
you've
not-
met this one before.
but not me. Not this me. Me before.
Before Shadow?
Yes,
Of course.
but I
No,
don't.
that makes sense. That makes sense why you wouldn't remember. There's a lot that I try not to remember from before Shadow.
I don't remember anything from before.
And nothing. At all.
This world isn't real. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
And I think
know.
Roshni goes to pinch Lillian softly on the arm. That's real, darling. This is the real world.
Okay. That is what
Don't worry. We'll jumpstart your memory. Or, better yet, maybe the reason you don't remember is because it's better not to.
You are probably right. Who needs old memories? Let's make new memories. I should distribute these to everyone. Thank you for confirming that this was happening and not just in my mind.
I think Roshni gets very serious, grabs Lillian by the shoulders, looks her in the eyes. Don't worry. You're not going crazy. Everything here is real. You're gonna be okay.
Everything is real. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
and the images and photos are distributed, where we move a little bit forward back into present day. Before we start off the scene, I will read the next card. The card on the green sun is the Looming Shade. Value of 9, mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Meanings: terror, doom, impending danger, unseen threats. Ghosts and spirits lurk everywhere. Most never interact with mortals. Some shades, however, prey upon mortals, looking to feast upon their fear, their flesh, or their very souls. The Looming Shade is almost certainly such a danger. It is terrifying, but it is not just idle fear. The threat is real. The best possible outcome you can hope for is that it's not a horror that appears now, but is yet to come, so perhaps you can prepare for it. But readying for the unseen is always difficult. Even forewarned, how do you expect the unexpected? Stoics get a +1 to their adventures. Gray magic is enhanced. Indigo is hindered. As we pick back up at the end of our 1 week's downtime, where do we find the group?
I believe at the end of the session, we did talk about coming back to the Cursemaker's shop. Based on my memory of rewatching. Totally not recently.
All right. The 5 of... If Alecto is letting you all back in Rare Shop.
Pressed up against the glass. Let us in.
I feel like there's no windows in Alecto's shop. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Not. But we find ourselves, the 5 of you, in Alecto's shop. Clean, I'm assuming. Well, tidied.
Tidied. It still has the, I guess, it's very much like an unkept old bookshop, but instead of books, it's stuff. But at least all the stuff is no longer smashed against the floor, and the bookshelves are upright instead of downright. And Alecto, when whoever comes in first comes in, would have been polishing their greatsword.
Who's on time or early? Who's early?
I will vote Ishmael.
Lillian would be close to on time.
Mm-hmm.
Depends if they were coming with Roshni or not.
I would also most likely be on time.
I'll say that maybe Roshni is coming on their own today and is probably the last one there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this week the door to Alecto's shop, rather, is found at the like behind a park bench in a tree. Like the door is just in a tree instead of in an alley, and you just kind of have to open the door and step into the tree today, which doesn't seem to be noticed by anyone else, I think.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. Kind of shimmies into the tree and enters Cursemaker's shop.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ishmael kind of like flops down, his hairs in his face, pushes it back. Hi. Honored Cursemaker. It's nice to see you again.
And the Cursemaker kind of just like looks up from their sword. I don't think they got the door for you.
No,
if you had knocked, yeah.
Ishmael wasn't expecting it.
And they just kind of grunt in response to your very eloquent introduction. Where are the others?
I will assume that they will be arriving at some near future. You see Ishmael's eyes kind of glance over to the blade that you are polishing. He goes, are you preparing for a duel today, Cursemaker?
A duel, a battle, a war. Whatever we need. I've been waiting.
this is going to go very well, I'm sure. As Ishmael, tries to find space among the Cursemaker's things, but is also very aware to not touch anything that's on anything. So it's just kind of hovering by the door, holding onto a leather-bound journal that he is holding in his hand that looks like it's filled to the brim with attachments, pieces of paper, and things like that. It's a very well-loved journal, and it's just kind of going in their mind, begging anyone, please come in now.
Who puts Ishmael out of their torture?
Lillian will come in.
Bless.
Hello.
Hello, Lillian. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chris. Chris. Which do you prefer?
I introduce myself as the Curse Maker. That's what you can call me.
Good morning, the Curse Maker. How are you today?
How am I today? What an odd question. Not many people ask me that.
Okay. Were you able to look over the photos? Did everyone got their photos, I'm assuming?
Ishmael opens up the journal to the photo and just fingers upon it and goes, yes, I have. Still eyes casted down onto the journal.
Somebody slipped a folder under my door, and they tap their stack of photos.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Your photos are lovely.
Thank you.
Lillian.
I guess before this and I went to college for photography, but I don't. How does that work? Either way. Thank you.
No, I understand what you are referring to. I was an academic at a college myself in Shadow.
So yes, it's an interesting. How did we bake up? It's a lot to process.
That is okay. No worries. I understand the transition is arduous, but I understand what you are referring to. No worries, right?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're very, very skilled.
Thank you.
Your photos are very loud.
Funny enough, some of them were very loud. They were speaking to me. But Ishmael, that's something I was hoping to speak with you about later.
What a coincidence! I have many to speak about with you as well.
Maybe I should wait for everyone. Roshni knows, though. I don't know if Eleanor. Ilford? Is that name familiar to anyone?
No.
Did you just say that your photos spoke to you? Do you speak with other things?
No, I do not. This is the first time this has happened, and the only time. They said their name was Ilford, and that they knew my family, and that if I would like to know more, that I could make a pact.
An entity. There it is.
Their own types of curses, if you ask me. But I don't mess with that.
You wouldn't be too far off if you're not too careful.
Yes, that's why I was hoping to speak with you at some point about this. I know you have been with the Order longer, and you know a little bit more about pacts with angels, demons, and the like.
I do specialize in contracts, yes. And if it seemed that this entity was particularly keen on a pact, or was it just kind of thrown up in the air?
It seemed like they wanted to speak with my parents more than they wanted to speak with me. That maybe a pact with me would just be a side deal.
And your parents are staying with you in residence with you?
I don't well, they've never been here since I've been back, or I don't know where they are. Who they are, or I don't know. What time is it? Where's everyone else? You would think they'd be here by now.
Eleanor, you don't have to knock. I've told you 10,000 times.
Oh, I definitely would have been outside, like. But at that, I will open the door.
Bless.
Come in with like a small, like sort of paper bag, as in addition to my normal things. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. Bit of an odd question, but does anybody want any cookies? The children didn't take as many as I thought they would.
I will never say no to offerings of sweet treats.
Yeah, so I placed down this bag full of basically fresh baked cookies.
What kind of cookies? I need to know.
I don't know if there's necessarily any one-to-one comparison, but I imagine that they don't strictly have a flavor. It's more the feeling where if you've ever been like meditating or in prayer or just in like a quiet moment to yourself where you feel that you're tense and you kind of let that go. It's like that's the feeling you get when you eat these. It's the specific moment of that sort of stress just like leaving your body. That's what these are like.
I think there are like 3 or 4 other plates that are the same ceramic models, I think, kind of like in a corner on Alecto's desk. There's not anything on them anymore.
Wow. I think Ishmael kind of like sachets on up. And takes a cookie and just like looks really softly at Eleanor. It's just like, thank you, Eleanor. This is so nice of you to bring this for us.
You're very welcome. Oh, and I turn to look at Lillian now. Thank you for the pictures, by the way.
You're welcome. I'm glad. I hope they were helpful, and thank you for the cookies as she eats. They're lovely.
Thank you.
I think at this you hear a very loud like banging sound as the door to the shop kind of just like swings open.
I wonder who could that be.
And Roshni kind of like almost like not crawls but like is like ducking their head in because they're quite tall and coming in through this door. Oh, darlings, you really should get a different entrance to this shop.
You can come in Rafi's shop. There's another way.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that? I like your secret entrances more.
Well, unlike Eleanor, I would actually appreciate it if you knocked the little rabbit next time you come in.
Again, where's the fun in that?
Quite. Well, it seems that we are all in attendance.
Oh, are we having a snack?
Just gestures, Ishmael gestures to Eleanor.
I
Hold up a
think
bag of cookies.
I think Roshni walks over and like takes one. And today you'll notice that like their hair is kind of like pinned up in like a half up, half down sort of scenario. And on their satchel that they always have on their waist, you can see a little book poking out that has a blue ribbon acting as like a bookmark. That's just kind of like poking out of their satchel.
Alecto, do you take a cookie?
They look at them for like kind of a long time, and then like through the mask you can hear this like kind of loud sigh, and then they push again the mask like up and over their face, and they take a cookie and lean back.
Oh, Owl, you have such an interesting face. Why do you hide it behind that mask?
That's not what we're here to talk about. These pictures, Lillian, they're very good, but they don't tell me much about who stole from me. Ishmael, you seem to recognize the person. Are they in any of these photos?
Before I go on forward with what I'm about to say, because I will be taking a significant amount of time, I found a lot of information of my time. And before I go forward, I ask that you all take me at my word. All right. Opens the journal, sets it upon any open desk that doesn't look like it's covered with any other items, potentially. If not, he will just hold it. Lillian, what I wanted to speak about, I was hoping to glean some information more about your family. But based on what you've spoken to me about just a few moments ago, that might be a bit more complicated. So instead, I'll tell you all what I do know. Your thief is my dearest friend. Their name is Kieran. And I assure you of their character. Whatever it is that they are involved in, it is not of their own volition. They had gone missing months ago. In fact, it was of this matter that I was hoping to inquire with you, Roshni, as to their whereabouts. But it is seemed that the reappearance of my dear friend has now become everyone's concern. I hold one of the keys to their home. As I returned there, hoping to find a single... You see, kind of just like shakes his head, just looking through these papers. As I'm looking through this, looking for a crumb of information, instead I find a mountain. And with it, a mountain of questions. My friend seems to be familiar with your family, Lillian. They speak of a Osman and Winifred. They speak of you. And I did not know in my friendship with them that they knew of you.
I wish I could be of more help, but I've never heard of this person or seen them before.
That was going to be one of my questions on whether or not you'd recognize the name. They spoke about, as he flips through the journal, they speak about ambitions of their father. Inklings, ideas, some sort of... I have no idea what these ambitions are. They were very vague. But what I do know is that they were hoping to spare the Yuan family from the repercussions of it by fleeing to Shadow. And that they would go with you. But it seems that you do not know or remember them. It seems that they knew you when you were young. This journal speaks of how you showed Visley talent when you were younger. That your parents were from the orders of Goetica, involved in some work, important work, and how they'd hoped to spare them by escaping to Shadow with you all, hoping that whatever lies are imprinted upon you may keep you all together.
That is a lot.
I hoped to speak of this in far gentler ways, Lillian. Maybe just ask simple questions, but knowing that you knew just as little as I thought I'd be open with all the details I knew.
I wish I could be of more help. I wish I could give you answers. I can give you access. My home, there are studies, there are libraries, there are books, there are journals full of writing that I haven't had time or energy or the ability to decipher, look through. You are welcome to come at any time and look through them if you think that would be of help.
You see Ishmael nods, perhaps. But he looks to you. Kind of like the softest look Ishmael could give. Listen. When you were in shadow, what do you remember your family to be like?
We were a happy family. It was me and my parents. We had a home in the suburbs. I went to college. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, college. They supported me. It was lovely.
And do their visages look at all like the family that you have here?
The portraits here with names of my parents do not look like the parents that I remember. The faces in my home are not the faces in my mind.
So in that case, we have to acknowledge the possibility that whatever illusions were imprinted upon you were not what Kieran had hoped. But I did meet Kieran as soon as I returned from Shadow. Which means, and they were bright, shining light. I would never have thought that they were worried or fearful. I'm sorry, Lillian. I know this is a lot. And I know you all want answers. But we are burdened with more questions. But we'd know two answers. The identity of the thief. And that this is not what they want.
And of that you are completely certain.
As certain as I am of my own breath.
And Alecto looks at Ishmael really hard, and without the mask, it's this like double-colored gaze of like hard intensity. Like they're glancing like right through Ishmael. They look really hard, and then their head cocks back to the other side to look at Lillian kind of in the same way. And then they turn back. Is that Kieran's diary?
The one that he's holding right now is not. But not this. This is my own. And on his person, he pulls out another journal.
And Alecto just extends their hand.
Ishmael hands it over.
This journal is made of brown leather, aged and cracked. And in between random pages, there is a white, now yellowed with time, bookmark embossed in gold.
Alecto immediately pulls that like gaze like right back down, and they shift the mask back over their face. And Rear kind of looks at it and like brings it close as though they were gonna like eat it or like bring it like really close to their mouth, like almost like it's kind of bizarre, like they're like, oh, this is another cookie.
Ishmael looks concerned for a second.
And then they pause and like tilt their head just a little. And I want to use my forte ability, my psychometry. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cause many problems for you,
You're
Mare.
gonna cause a lot of problems, and I love it. One more time. I'm gonna have to cut. You know what? Snippet me the wording of psychometry. I'm pinning it in your channel.
Will do. I will. Can I read it out to you right now?
Please read it out to me right now.
Great. When I touch a creature or object, I get a sense of something about its nature or past. It is level 1 + 1 die.
Yeah, you won't need to roll for this specific one. It's just a diary. It's not enchanted or anything. You get the impression that this diary is old, first of all. It has been in circulation for a long, long time and well-loved, well-written. It holds the emotions of basically anyone that you would expect someone growing up. Happiness, joy, frustration, and kind of but as you kind of move through this memory chronologically, there's more frustration, there's more fear as words are scribbled down, and then urgency, determination, and then it cuts off.
Hello, Kieran. Nice to meet you. And after a moment, they kind of like, I think they were maybe like flipping through all the pages, and it's just like the sound of the pages in their shop for like a long moment. And then they close the book and slide it back across their desk toward Ishmael.
Ishmael picks it up very carefully, places it back upon his person. He takes great care when handling this journal.
It's interesting. Strange. When did you lose them?
About 6 months ago.
And before that? Were you taken to Shadow together?
No. I returned to Shadow and found myself finding trouble readjusting, and Ishmael's eyes kind of linger on Lillian for a second. And we met. Just at Speakeasy. Over conversation. And I thought I finally found someone cut from the same cloth as myself. We were very dear friends. We still are very dear friends. We were on a walk that night when they were taken.
During this conversation, it takes a minute for all of you to realize that you are being watched. Not like the type of watching from the curse. It's much more normal and natural and non-magical.
Do
From
I know
where?
who's watching us?
Do you all look around?
Ishmael absolutely fucking does.
I think Roshni is freaked out from the curse, and so even though this is not the same feeling and it's a very normal watching, they're still gonna like kind of flip their head around despite themselves, trying to find the source of these eyes.
It takes a minute because what is watching you is not on eye level. And just as your eyes fall on it and you blink, it is gone. And Eleanor, you feel a tugging at the bottom of your skirt.
I will turn in the direction. Oh, hello there.
And all of you see a child. You did not hear the bells go off, nor did the door from Rafi's end open at all. But there is this little girl, probably like four-ish, very dirty hair, very long. You can't even tell what color it is. Same with her dress. It's absolutely filthy. And she has one hand with a thumb in her mouth, sucking her finger, and is holding a dirty, long blanket trailing behind her. And her eyes are staring up at you, Eleanor, much too large for her face.
I go straight down as close as I can to eye level.
God.
A child.
It's a child. Sorry. And she takes the thumb out of her mouth and just kind of like...
Provide her a cookie.
She shoves the entire thing in her mouth, and...
I don't question it.
You don't... Yeah. She shoves the entire thing in her mouth. You would definitely notice this. You are right in front of her. Anyone who's not, like, directly, like, in terms of angle, like, right behind Eleanor, all pointed teeth.
Completely unfazed.
Fucking Eleanor, you're creepy, Eleanor. Sorry. And this little girl, smiles up at you. Big toothy grin before she's holding this blanket, right? Like right near her arm, and puts her hand behind it. And out of absolutely nowhere, because this is just a limp, dirty thing, pulls out, hand clasped around the tail of a bright yellow, two-headed fish with red scales and bright splayed fins. And it's just flopping around. Doesn't seem to care that it's in air.
Is this like being extended to me as an offering,
Yes.
or like more of a show and tell? Like,
It's
look what
handing
I
it.
have?
She is handing
Okay.
it to you.
Oh, then I will take it like without question. Oh, thank you. This is very kind of you.
Eleanor, darling, I
this
didn't
fish.
know you had children.
Oh, she's not mine.
You really shouldn't be in here.
The child
I
smiles
return.
at you.
I'm gonna turn straight to the curse maker. Oh, don't be silly. You couldn't keep her out if you tried.
I know. That's why she shouldn't be in here.
This little girl smiles at you, Eleanor, and the next time each of you blink, she is gone. You have this fish that doesn't seem to care that it's in air. You would recognize where this is from immediately, Roshni.
What a wonderful girl.
Where is it from? Because
Oh, what? Where Roshni really doesn't want to go and avoids, like the plague.
Ooh.
Val, what did you just realize? Val just realized something.
I had a thing. I have a thing going off in my brain.
Anyway,
Let's see.
who
I
has?
think seeing
Because other people might recognize this as well. Who goes
I have
gambling?
any idea?
Who goes
Oh, I
gambling?
don't.
Who has gone gambling?
What are the chances I could hear about it from a secondhand story from my brother?
You were probably dragged there by your brother.
Okay, then yeah.
You would recognize this fish as a fish from the Blue Royal gambling casino
Okay. And where would that be?
in Fartown.
In Fartown? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Roshni recognizing the fish would just kind of look over at Eleanor. You know, children really shouldn't be going there.
I would agree with you, but once again,
Blue Royal
keep
is
the
not
kids out
that
if they
bad.
try.
The Blue Royal's
Darling.
actually fancy schmancy.
It's the worst fucking place on earth.
Isn't it the very upscale place at the end of the far town?
Yes, it's fancy, and they have beautiful decorations and wonderful food, and
A great way to lessen your coin.
I don't gamble, darling.
Seem very familiar with the establishment.
Here I was thinking you enjoyed the finer things in life.
I do, and that's why I don't like That place. Anyway, we're looking for Kieran. Correct, Ishmael?
If we want answers, yes.
Well, that would have a lead.
There are only lead.
And I think Roshni kind of like walks over to the desk, like plops themselves on it, like puts their hands down behind them and like leans forward. I think I know where to find them. You see, I was talking to the people that I know around town, and a little bird told me that somebody matching Kieran's description was seen talking to the owner of the Tryst of the Heart, the one who got arrested recently. Not sure if you heard.
Bresson.
I am not very pleased about that. I love that place.
I heard some juicy details. Apparently,
Do tell.
Bresson has been buying some illicit goods. You know those emotion leaves that they use inside of the Tryst? In the tubs?
I'm intimately familiar, yes.
Of course you would be. Well, you see, those leaves, apparently, they're not procured legally. And it would seem that Kieran is their hookup.
You see Ishmael furrow their brow. For how long?
That I'm not sure of, but potentially a very long time if that is how the Tryst gets a discount on the emotion leaves per se. I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you say emotion leaves?
Yes? Why?
Just something my aunt said in passing. She works for the Emotion Mills Consortium and said that the emotion leaves on paper isn't matching what's in the warehouses.
You have an aunt?
She says she's my aunt. I did not have one in shadow. She has been very, very nice to me though since I've been back, and seems to know a lot. Yes. She doesn't know anything about where my family went though. It's more of a surprise that I showed back up one day.
When you say that the emotion leaves aren't the same, what do you mean? Like some are going missing from the records, or they're saying that they're making one kind and really making another, or?
She didn't have a lot of time to give me details. That just on paper what they should have is not what's matching the warehouses.
Okay, let me draw a mind map, because I think that would be particularly helpful for us. Right now, we have leads. You see him open up his journal and start writing Kieran at the top and circling it.
Hold on,
Right,
where's the red string?
I was literally typing in chat. Here comes the conspiracy board.
Murder board. Sorry.
I mean,
that was April, not Lillian.
No, actually.
Not really excited.
So draws out Kieran in the mind map, and right below it, we have Blue Royal in a circle, and we have Tryst of the Heart. Cool. And as he's drafting this out, it's like, we now know that, I'm sorry, that child, does she have a name, or is it like, how does that work? Pardon me, my crudeness.
Of course. To be honest, I don't really know if they have names. If they do, they guard them very closely.
So, collectively children, I will just write down. Our biggest lead.
Good idea.
Our biggest lead is Kieran. Kieran, according to Roshni's information, which you see Ishmael smile off the corner of his mouth, I am fairly certain is very reliable information, yes?
Obviously, it's information I procured.
A person of quality through and through, I knew. Draws an arrow from Kieran to Tryst of the Heart. And now we have a second connection from your aunt that has information regarding supply.
Yes. The emotion.
To Tryst of the Heart. And now now that I know that you have an aunt, we also know that Kiran is related to your parents. And who right now that we can connect to knows your parents and knows the supply?
That is a very good question. We could go speak with her.
I think that might be a very good. And you see him draw an arrow straight from the aunt to Kiran and drawing a question mark at the bottom and saying,
her name is Solara. If you
Solara.
wanted to write that down.
Makes a little bracket underneath it.
Is that a name I'm familiar with?
Solara Kusk. I'll put it in the group chat so you can see it.
No, she mostly deals in higher level stuff, not actual distribution. You'd probably be dealing with someone in the Strange Glass district, not the headquarters in the Marquee Quarter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And also for you, Val, I put in the company, the Emotion Mills Consortium.
Thank you. I'm not joking. I'm drawing a mind map.
I believed you. That's why I wanted to put in the correct
pencil
word.
going. I think Roshni also chimes in and says, we could also go and talk to Bress in his holding cell as well. I'm sure.
Good luck.
If we want to help him out with his predicament, he's probably going to be very forthcoming with the information.
Is that just something we can do? Speaking to an accused?
I have connections.
You would know from when you were talking to the people in downtime. Saturnine is very kind of loosey-goosey with laws and stuff because basically, except for like a couple miscellaneous things, there's really nothing that's like super illegal. And everything is kind of done district by district and neighborhood by neighborhood, gerant by gerant. Any real big stuff is going to be handled by the bigwigs. So anything that makes someone go from Motion Mills Consortium or to arrest to go to another district is like a big fucking deal.
Question for you, Mayor. Would my connection with the Hindasa allow any sort of into trying to talk to Bress?
Probably not, but nothing ever hurts to try because you don't know about their connections that well. You just have the connection with them.
Okay.
So it is something you could try if they are, well, they're probably back by now. They tend not to be away more than a week or so. So when you tried to reach out to him earlier, he wasn't here. So he might be back.
There is another thread I failed to mention after looking at my many windows that are open with many notes. I'm so sorry. Kiran references a sister, Avelia. Any recognition amongst your circles, Roshni?
I have never heard the name myself, but I can ask around, see if anybody I know maybe knows her.
Well, let's see what information this particular entry comes out, and then we can see if that's the wise action to take.
I think you can probably cross out the information from the child, though. I don't really think that was pertinent to what we were talking about.
Are you still holding this fish, Eleanor?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this was a gift. It was given to me.
Eleanor.
Yes?
Is there a particular reason why the child gave you that fish? Did you inquire something?
Well, I would be lying if I said I knew for certain. They can be unpredictable. That said, I did ask them over the course of the week to see if they could look into what happened at the fridge the other day. And well, this is the first time I've gotten any sort of response. That's correct, Mary, right?
This is your first response to that request. Yeah. Like, I don't know about your past dealings, but to this specific one, when you were asking them to look into like the art piece, yes.
Yeah, and that's what I was referring to. And this was their first response to that. Now, granted, they can be unpredictable. So this could be a lead, or it could be a child who wanted a cookie and decided they would pay me a fish for it.
Darling, it's probably just a child's whims. Just scratch out that information from there, please.
No, little rabbit. I don't think so. The children don't come here. They never come here. The fact that one came here to give us this doesn't mean nothing. Keep it on the note board, will you, Ishmael?
Ishmael also looks directly at Roshni, and you see Vasuki and Shesha, his two snakes, slither up his exposed arms to look directly at you as they slither and hiss with their tongues. My darling Roshni, if there is a place that you hesitate to enter, then that is a place we should look, considering the information you have given me thus far involving illicit activities.
Ishmael, I would have thought that you would be wiser than that. Darling, if I avoid a place, we should all avoid that place.
I don't think you understood me when I spoke about Kiran. And you see the snakes now slither up his neck and are coiled around it, and you see Vasuki, the black one, come on up to the side of his face, almost close to his eye. Kiran is my dearest friend, and whatever predicament that they are in, I will stop at nothing to stop, and I will stop at nothing to bring them back. Just so we're on the same page, darling. As Vasuki slithers away, and that bright smile lingers. We don't have...
I'm like standing here holding this fish.
Can you make a physicality roll to hold on to this fish that's flailing, please?
Sure. So
I was like, I thought you were referring to me, and I'm like, for my snake being near my eye.
That as well. I was like, wait, is this like a contested thing?
Yeah, this fish wants out.
Oh my god. Oh, this would be even funnier if I'm like struggling to hold on to this fish.
Please struggle to hold on to this fish.
That'll be really funny.
I'll spend one for my physicality pool because I never use it for anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. We obviously.
Okay. So, 6 with one, spent 1 for physicality, so 7 total.
Okay, yeah,
think
you are able to
C-
hold on to this. It's not happy.
I think C has an idea.
Oh, I kind of want Alecto to stab it.
Also-
the fish.
But also, just so we're clear, this doesn't need to be a conflict. Roshni, if there's somewhere you would like to avoid, you're more than welcome to avoid it. We are not your chaperones. We do not need to bring you anywhere you do not want to go. Similarly, Ishmael, if Roshni doesn't want to go somewhere, quite frankly, the only person whose business that is Roshni's.
I did not mean that they should come with us. I just mean that is something that I would like to do.
Okay.
Clarifying.
As long as we're all on the same page.
Thank you.
You know what I just remembered? I remember when we first met, Ishmael. Just now when you were talking. I think
Ishmael's just like, oh, now?
it didn't strike me at the time. I was busy thinking about other things. But now you're looking for something lost, aren't you? I know where lost things live.
Well,
Perhaps another place we should check out.
perhaps. But the last thing that I'm looking for seems to have found itself. Or themselves.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
I'm willing to go with you. I feel pretty safe in your protection.
And I'm gonna fucking do it. Can I try to spear the fish with my sword?
Is everyone okay with fish spearing?
I don't know.
I, as a person, am. Eleanor might not be super.
Roshni is out here like, spear that fucking fish!
This is an out of character lines veil question. Is everyone okay with spearing fish? Okay, yeah, I'm fine with spearing fish.
Do I have to roll for it or anything?
No, you have 2 levels in sword chip, and that will be enough to spear this fish.
Yep, it's just one real quick motion. Fish.
If I may add, I think Roshni is delighted by Alecto doing this, and they are going to set the fish like lightly on fire just to cook it.
And I think this is a great spear. Sorry, I think this is a great spot to go to break because we're at halfway point where everyone has a nice fish dinner.
What just happened?
Electo
You and me both.
and Roshni are cooking for you. It's what is happening. So
It's really high tense, and then now we're gonna fish stab.
anyway, we'll be back in
We're doing great.
like 10 minutes, y'all. Everyone, stretch, hydrate, and we'll be back soon. Bye. Hello, everybody, and we are back from break. I hope everyone stretched and hydrated. We left off the scene with a nice fish dinner because someone was given a two-headed fish.
Do I have blood on me?
No. I speared it in such a way that it's perfect, in fact.
Well, I suppose we know what we're having for dinner then, darlings.
Seemed
Does your
unnecessary.
Does your aunt like fish, Lillian?
Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm not necessarily sure if she does or not.
I hear it's best to bring a gift when visiting.
Oh, yes, you should always bring a gift when you're visiting a new person. That's just polite.
Ishmael looks to Roshni for help.
What are you looking at me for, darling?
Are we bringing a fish to a potential friend's house?
I mean, Lillian, if your aunt enjoys fish, we can. Otherwise, I think maybe we should procure something else.
Whitney, I don't know if she does or not. I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of answers. These seem like very easy questions you should know answers to. If family members eat fish or not.
It's all right.
Cursemaker, you wouldn't happen to have another one of those, would you? And Roshni, like, indicates towards their sword.
No. And
Are
I
you sure about
hesitate.
that?
I hesitate to ask why.
As a gift for
We-
Lillian's aunt.
We could just stop by and grab a bottle of wine or some tea or a baked good. Weapons, that's not traditionally the first visit gift.
There's a ramen shop on this street. It is absolutely to die for.
It often is.
Perfect. Let's get some dumplings then on our way.
Lovely. Yes, dumplings. That's a safe, non-stabbing gift. Yes.
But Cursemaker, we will talk about the sword.
No, I don't think we will.
We will. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Get out of the shop, please.
I think
All of
Roshni
you.
makes a point to just not get up off of this desk.
Ishmael's gonna leave the shop because
Same as Lillian.
So, sorry, go ahead. Continue.
but beforehand is gonna look at Eleanor really quick and it's just like, forgive me, sorry about the fish, however much consolation that is.
It is what it is.
Shall we be off then?
I suppose so.
So I do have to ask, Lillian, do you plan on just showing up at your aunt's job? Do you try and contact her? Like, what's the game plan here?
Do we have cell phones or
No.
a thing of that? No.
So
Nope.
cell phones,
Um,
sometimes
the-
cell phones get brought over from Shadow, but they don't really work like they would in the actuality. My gain keeps going down. I'm really pissed about this again. There are telephones, but what often happens is telephones are connected to the aether, which is also what ghosts and stuff are connected to. So sometimes there are literally ghosts in the wires. Your aunt is rich enough to have a phone.
Okay.
So you could try and call her. It's just you need to find like a payphone or someone that has a phone. Actually, your house might actually have a phone. Your parents, I feel like, were rich enough.
Yeah, I feel like we have a phone. That's how I contact her. The curse maker. Do you by any chance have a phone here? I would just like to give her some warning or make sure she's home before we all head over there.
Does Rafi have a phone in like the shop?
I could let her know.
Oh. Go ahead.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I could let her know.
Okay.
Could you describe her for me?
Yes, I can. Solara is a 6 foot tall woman with dark olive skin, with nodal features, thick hair that has a kind of curly, not super curly, but wavy, a little bit frizzy. She has a very distinct facial tic when very nervous. It's, I guess, a family thing. We all get a little weird when we're nervous. And a scar that goes across her left shoulder.
All right, I think I can work with that. And I'm going to walk right outside and start going like, oh, excuse me, like almost like I'm trying to like hail a cab or get the attention of a stranger. And I would like to cast Carried on the Whispers of Moths.
Oh. Tell us what it does, Alex.
So this is an ephemera incantation. It's level 5. It says, you send a message to up to 5 beings you choose, no matter how distant they might be, and they hear your message no more than an hour later, transported to them in the form of a glittering moth. Its color is indigo.
Okay, let me look at the thing.
And can we assume that this will get there before we do?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Functional? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to describe what happens, or do you want me to do it?
I'll describe what I do, like how I cast it. You can
Okay.
describe what that does for me in
Sure.
turn.
So, as you are hailing this cab, seemingly not out of nowhere, from the trees and from these autumn-colored trees, from behind buildings, one even is coming out from a cat that just caught a mouth, like squirming from between its jaws, and they swarm around you, hovering but not touching you, as they are listening.
Okay, then I'm like a fucking Disney princess, like holding my arms out for them. And I describe Lillian's aunt, and I say that, I'd like to let this person know that Lillian and a few of her friends are going to be stopping by soon. And I don't remember if we said that we were going to announce that we're going to be asking her questions. So I just say that Lillian and her friends are coming by, and that's kind of where I leave it.
And as you are done,
And we'll be bringing dinner. I'll put it.
dinner. Lovely.
Yeah.
As you are done speaking this message to Solara, these moths flutter away, flying off towards the direction where you know the arch into the hollows would be, and into the rest of Saturnine.
I'm sure at least one of them will find her.
Okay, then we should. Roshni, you said dumplings?
Yeah, there's a charming ramen shop just, I think, down the street. I guess depending on... Does your shop move? And Roshni, is looking at Curse Maker when they ask this.
The shop doesn't move. The door does.
Then it should be just a couple doors down.
Okay.
Then shall we?
Please.
Dumplings we go.
How long does Roshni stay on the desk? How long are we playing this game of chicken?
That's a good question. I think Roshni would definitely be there Okay, so like Lillian, Ishmael, and Eleanor leave, and I think Roshni's still there. And then I think they just kind of like smirk at Cursemaker for, I want to say like less than a minute. I don't think Roshni's trying to like piss him off too much right now, but just to make a point, is just going to kind of sit there like maybe like swinging their legs and just kind of like playing with the things that are on the desk even. But then eventually, if the Cursemaker does not leave first, they will get up.
I think the Cursemaker does get up after a few moments, but they pause where you are on the edge of their desk, and they put one hand like on one side of you, and then they put their other hand on the other side, like to actually prevent you from getting off, and they kind of just loom over Roshni with this mask. Oh my god!
Thank you, April. Thanks, April. You win.
I'm sorry, that was so loud. April, how dare you?
We need that as a card. I'm gonna make one now.
For anyone
Thank
who
you.
missed it, it was a card that said hot.
Oh my god.
It is.
Wow,
She's
just
not wrong.
Get back into character. Get back into character.
Oh, yes, you're welcome, Hamnah, I will. Both hands, you know, the Cursemaker leans down. We can play this game all night, Roshni. Best
I think-
not to keep everyone else waiting. And I would like to use a spell as well. I would like to use my spell Ephemeron, which is a level 3 spell. And as the Cursemaker, kind of, again, the same thing that they did the first time, that reaches past Roshni's head. And just like their hands like quiver for a moment, and as though like it's literally like they grab something, and all of a sudden in their hand is this beautiful like diamond studded dagger, as I can create from dust or dirt a single mundane object that I can hold in one hand, such as a knife, axe, shovel, pen, hammer, raincoat. As long as it lasts, the item functions as a normal example of its gift. And they pull it back past Roshni's head and put it down on their lap.
I think Roshni, when Cursemaker kind of like leans in towards them, they kind of, you can probably hear against their will, even like a small gasp kind of like escape their throat. But they don't move back. They're very careful not to do that. They sort of like steel themselves, and they instead lean forward, so you're like inches away from each other's faces. Alecto still has their mask on, right?
They do.
Can I see into like your eyes from here, or?
I think this close you would be able to.
I think Roshni like looks into your eyes the whole time while you're doing this thing where you're like pulling this dagger out from behind them, and they just kind of smile and they say, "I'm happy to stay here for as long as you'd like, if that's what you want."
Any excuse not to go, where was it? The Blue Royal?
Don't play games if you don't want to get burned, darling.
I'm not afraid of fire.
You should be. I don't burn, but I hear everybody else does.
Maybe so. But you know what I think, Roshni? I think that one day somebody you love is going to get burned. And it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt them. Let's go.
I think at that, Roshni kind of like takes Alecto's like hands that are on their sides and kind of like very like roughly pushes them off of themselves. Let's go.
Oh, I don't think they were touching. Alecto was actually very careful not to touch Roshni at all.
Regardless, moving so that
Yep.
Cursemaker is not blocking their path anymore, like pushing them away. But they will pointedly take that dagger that you so kindly created for them, and they're going to put it away into their satchel.
Okay. And with that, it is easy enough for the 5 of you to go to Bao Bao's Ramen shop, run by an older woman named Giselle, who always seems to be, when she stands still too long, seems to sink down into the floor until she moves again. The price for the food is negligible. You don't have to worry about it, taking anything from your inventory. But you are able to easily enough procure enough. For 6? 6. Because you know that Solara lives alone. To get to... Okay, the real question is the moth spell does not give you a return, does it? It does not. So, Lillian, which residence are you going to your aunt's?
Believing that what Eleanor did worked, I would be heading towards her home.
Okay. If it's just going to be like one of your casual, like if you're going over for tea type interactions and like, you know, sitting around catching up, you would need to go to her home in the Quiet Lake District. She actually owns 2 homes, one in the Marquee Quarter and one in the Quiet Lake Districts, because she's fucking loaded.
Yeah.
Like massively loaded. But living in either of those districts, you need to have connections and a lot of money.
We would be going to the one, I would be assuming the T one, because that's the one I would go to the most.
In that case, it would be Quiet Lake. It is a very peaceful, serene district. So,
yes, we should head towards the Quiet Lake District. That's where one of her homes is. That's the one I typically visit. If she's not there, we could try her other one, but I assume for her to be there.
I'm sorry, did you say homes?
Yes, she has one. The one for callers, for visitors, is the one in Quiet Lake. The other one is, sorry, where was the other one?
Marquee Quarter.
Yes, the other one, she also has a place in the Marquee Quarter.
Both really fucking fancy places.
Ah, I see. Perhaps I should have grabbed my nicer cloak.
I'm sure it'll be fine. She doesn't necessarily put on airs or acts better than people do. She's very great down to earth and grounded. She's never brought up what I've worn.
I'm teasing you, Lillian.
Oh, okay. Yes. You're very funny. Actually, you know that, right? We should keep going.
And Alecto kind of looks after Lillian for a moment, like, what are you talking about? Before heading off with the rest of the group.
So to get to Quiet Lake District, you need to leave Fartown, go through the Hollows, get to the Indigo Rail, Indigo/Saturnine Rail, and then go to the Quiet Lake District. So the way Saturnine and the city is set up after the war, which we don't talk about, a lot of the city is actually ravaged. And the districts are separated by these huge swaths of ruined city called Ruined Expanses. And it's really dangerous to walk, so most people take the train, if there is a train going from district to district. And Fartown is actually a pocket dimension in another district, so you need to leave Fartown, go to somewhere else, and then go somewhere else. Make sense?
Yes.
No.
We should have called an Uber, but the train will get us there in like 3 to 6 hours, depending on if it's on time.
There's no way to get there faster.
The Quiet Lake District, because I actually made sure to like look at my little fancy map, is like only this far. It's the closest district, y'all. It's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
It doesn't take long to get there.
But as you walk through Fartown, You need to pass to get to the arch, which leads to the hollows. As always, you see these amazing trees. Once again, the waves of leaves on the streets. You even pass by a bunch of rats playing a game of cards down an alleyway. And there's this huge arch. And as you pass underneath it, there is no sense of transition, like you're moving from, like being transported from space to space, place to place, but you do feel for the briefest of seconds as if something is scrutinizing you. This is normal, but it is just since you're playing this game for the first time, something I figured I would mention. But it is normal. This arch leads out into a district called the Hollows, which is quite honestly the poorest district of Saturnine. It is very run down. Eleanor, you probably out of everyone would probably know this district the best because there is a woman whose name escapes me right now that also kind of runs a home for people who need a warm shelter, food. She's very kind, very big of body and laughter and personality. And so you would probably be most familiar here and probably have maybe even talked with her, gotten advice when you were first starting out with at the house without a key. But going from the Hollows to the Indigo Rail is simple. And as you are on your way to the Quiet Lake District, this train weaves in impossible ways and loop-de-loops and in very sharp turns and corners, but yet the ride is very smooth. Is there anything you wanted to talk about on your way to the Quiet Lake?
How long do we have?
No more than 30 minutes, probably less.
Is that enough time to meditate to get a new ephemera incantation or no?
I think it's an hour.
I think you're right too.
I think it's an hour. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Also, I don't want to pull my cards right now, so.
That's fair. That's a mood.
So no.
I don't know if Alecto is very talkative, but similarly to how they acted when they were at the fridge, Ree is very careful not to touch anyone else and kind of takes a lot of care to move kind of slowly and purposefully through crowds.
I take a window seat or somewhere where there is a lot of light, and from my bag I produce I'm not sure if it's quite in a state to be called a book yet, but it definitely seems like almost like an unfinished manuscript or unpublished manuscript of some kind. And it seems old. It doesn't seem like something that's brand new or anything. And I sit by the window seat reading this.
Your reflection in the window stares at you intently.
I'm aware of this, and I try unsuccessfully to ignore it.
Everyone else notices this too, by the way. This is if you ever at any point look at Eleanor's reflection, it is staring at her and not mirroring.
One thing that Lillian has been doing this entire time is she's still taking pictures. As they walk, as they go through things, she is still on the train everywhere. Just pictures, random pictures.
Ishmael would settle closely to Lillian to kind of speak in hushed tones. Lillian.
Yes, hi.
Regarding that entity you spoke of before.
Yes, Ilford.
Yeah. Please don't hesitate to ask me anything about the Goetica.
I would.
Yeah.
I would like to learn more. That is true. And I would love help with going through all the journals and books, and I know there's years worth of research in the house. I just don't know where to start with it.
Well, that's what I'm here for. I'll be more than happy to help you.
I think that'd be a wonderful partnership.
Just wanted to let you know that there's always an open invitation for that.
Thank you. Then yes, back as well to you, the invitation. Anytime. I know the spark for research comes at any hour, and sometimes you think you know a connection and have to look it up then. So I understand.
Yes. And in the similar vein, I know how it's like to feel like a fish out of water.
Hopefully not a fish. But
well, hopefully not that fish.
Yes.
What did you do with that fish?
I don't know.
I left it at home. I think it's still on the sword in the shop.
Wait, did you not bring your sword?
Oh no, you're right. I would have it. I guess we're taking
This is
it as
my
a
comfort
gift. No,
sword?
it's like in
Safety object.
It is my emotional support
Yes.
sword.
Yep. Mood.
I guess we have it. No.
do you have a fridge at home? We could have left it in the fridge.
Well, it's been grilled, so I guess it's
Oh,
good for
yeah.
a little while.
Is that just train snack? We're just eating chunks of fish.
Ishmael's not eating that. Okay.
For those people who brought cooked fish onto the train.
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
it wouldn't be the weirdest thing. It's Saturn.
It's
Honestly.
true.
I think during this train ride, Roshni has been kind of bored, and so I think they took the seat behind Eleanor, and when Eleanor pulled out this like manuscript to read, they just kind of like popped themselves up on the seat just behind Eleanor, like reading over her shoulder.
What's the manuscript about, Eleanor? What kind of book or writing?
Ah, son of a bitch. It's definitely fiction of some variety, that's for sure. Gosh, I had no idea that this existed until this morning. So let's see.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, right. Gosh, so it's definitely fiction of some kind. It's older. I like to imagine it's one of those books where on first glance it's kind of about nothing. It's gosh, I'm trying to think.
Sorry, all that's coming to mind, which I've never read, is House of Leaves. I don't know if that's the only thing that's coming to mind with its odd writings and how everything is. It's on my to read list.
Such a good
April.
book.
It's
Such
on
a
my
good
to.
book.
It's on my to read list. Okay.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's like the Saturn of books, is from what I understand.
Yeah, actually, that
Okay.
that explains it.
Yeah.
Then yes, we will go with that.
Okay. So it's in like one page will have like 2 words, and then like other pages will like have only like the corners written in while everything is blank, and some it's just like a square of text. Like entire pages are footnotes, like going on for pages and pages, and it's a lot.
And one other thing, at least one other thing you would notice is that it's all handwritten.
Eleanor, I think you're trying to read your book. You should probably turn it a little bit.
Excuse me?
And Roshni points towards the reflection.
The reflection is also trying to read the book and the manuscript.
I will do my best to sort of like hold it in such a way where my reflection cannot see it.
Yeah.
Eleanor, darling, don't be rude.
And in the window, the reflection is nodding along. This
I
is
don't
such a
wanna talk
fun
about that.
quirk to roleplay, y'all.
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh? Is that not you?
I wish it wasn't.
Who is it? Which version of you is that?
Not one we need to talk about.
I think I'll be staying at your house tonight, Eleanor.
As always, you may.
And I think the rest of the train ride just passes without Roshni saying anything, but continuing to read this manuscript with Eleanor.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it takes a while to read a page, but because of its orientation and text, but yes. The ride goes smoothly, and as we reach our next location, I'm going to read the next card. On the blue sun, we have the Eternal Mountain. Value 4. Vision, swans, blades, and water. Empaths get a +1 to their ventures. Meanings unchanging, solitude, memory, eternal, and long life. The mountain stands alone and unchanging. It always has and it always will. Some find this compelling, others terrifying. The mountain sees all and never forgets what it has seen. Eternal Mountain is the location card of the Visions family. Green magic is enhanced and pale is hindered. The Quiet Lake District is, as it lives true to its name, it is quiet and silent. It is this large, large lake of still water, which the only time it moves is when someone is traveling across it, whether it is because someone has cast a spell to walk upon its surface or they are renting a rowboat. And each island has a single home. And sometimes islands disappear, fold up underneath them, or come back. In general, Lillian, you would also know that this place has an underwater, not an opera house, but just like a place where shows can perform at the far end. Obviously, you need some kind of way to breathe water to go view these shows. And I think definitely at some point when you first came back, your aunt took you to go see something. It was lovely. When the 5 of you arrive, you see a boat already docked near the right near the edge, and Lillian, you would recognize the person that is standing there. It is a thought form that goes by Fennel that works for your aunt.
That's Fennel. Fennel works for my aunt. They should be able to get us to her home. And I'll just do a little wave. Hello.
Fennel does not speak, but Fennel does give you a slight bow, and specifically to you, Lillian, but gives a smaller nod of acknowledgement to the rest of you, and motions for you to get in the rowboat.
She does.
How big is the rowboat?
At least enough for half a dozen people. It is like a well-built, sturdy, like, it's probably got some silver capping like on the edge, and it's fancy looking. There's like cushions on it.
Okay, great. I was halfway worried that Alecto was gonna just tip it when they got in. And I think it bobs just a tiny bit, but
it definitely bobs just from like your size.
I'm 6'8" and muscular. Yeah,
it's logical. Yes, the hot card is gonna be this game's card. I can feel it. Fennel is able to... They don't even row. This rowboat moves itself, and it glides across the surface of the Quiet Lake District. The surface is so still, if anyone is looking over. For the split second before the ripples go across, you can't see your reflection. I know who is not looking. But it is peaceful and silent. Eventually, probably about 2/3 across the lake before Fennel docks at a very large-sized island. This home is very tall and wide, with a nice maroon paneling and multiple stories, probably like 3 stories and an attic. This is your aunt's home in the Quiet Lake District.
We've arrived. This is her home. I guess she got your message. If Fennel was waiting for us, we should. And Lillian is talking as she's walking up to the front door to knock or ring on the doorbell.
Sorry, I'm making a note. Thought form that works for Solara. Because I don't make notes, I'm gonna forget. As you approach the home, the door opens on its own, as if expecting you. And inside there is another thought form, which is not named this time, and gives you a bow. Refreshments are in the dining room. Your aunt said she would be here shortly. She is running late from work, but she got your message in the most odd ways, Miss Lillian.
We could thank my friend Eleanor here for getting the message. Thank you. We will wait in the dining room.
The inside of Solara's house is elegantly furnished, though in a simple way, lots of well-built furniture that is meant to last, gilded engravings. There is occasionally the piece of art. So a lot of, definitely at least one family portrait of her and your parents, Lillian, when they were much younger, and just fancy things.
As we pass by the portrait of my parents as well, Ishmael, this is that's my aunt, and these are my parents. And I figured I should point that one out to you since.
How do they look in these portraits? Is it just like a formal portrait?
Yeah, it would be. It's probably a formal portrait that they sat down for. I should probably describe my parents.
Yeah. Would you like?
Hold on. I don't remember what they look like.
I am pulling out my funny little notebook. I'm turning the page.
I will quickly throw them in chat for you.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome.
So Lillian's mother she's an Asian woman. Nothing that odd, out of place from a portrait of an Asian woman. High neck collar, her hair in a bun, very proper, strong cheekbones. She looks like a well-off, think the Mummy, like, you know, the people in the Mummy who are like a little bit upper class, like that kind of feel. But then you see her father, who is cloaked in a very long dark robe, has a piece of fabric that wraps around their head that also goes down and flowing, and he's holding a golden whip, and next to him are two dogs that are made of shadow and ash.
Yes, these dogs are sitting very well behaved in this portrait as well. They kind of the pointed ears of and kind of general frame of like a Doberman.
Yeah.
The dining room is set up for tea. Eleanor didn't say how many, so there's just kind of a pile of, it looks like a full tea set is put out.
That's a good point. I did not say how many.
Just as if on cue, as soon as they walk in, Lillian starts getting the tea set up, just like starts pouring cups for everyone. Just
come, let me help you as well.
Oh, thank you. She likes to entertain, so as you can see, there are biscuits and cookies and crackers and cakes and sandwiches. The whole table would be laden with like anything you'd ever want to see in like a British high tea.
And it's
is what you're looking at.
And like it's Saturnine equivalent, so it's definitely stuff made with like distilled ideas and feelings of relaxation and such like that, similar to what Eleanor brought before, but definitely probably bought in the Marquis Quarter by someone who is specialized in making this stuff and not just conjured.
Okay, but I have a very important question. What kind of sandwiches are these? 'Cause that's like a very broad category.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Eleanor, for you, you see sandwiches that look like traditional tea sandwiches, a cucumber and cream cheese, but when you bite into them, they taste like your childhood memory of your first laugh. I don't know why I said that so aggressively. That actually sounds quite lovely.
Please be aggressive to Alex when it comes to sandwiches.
The cucumber sandwich of your first laugh. That's very happy.
I am right when it comes to sandwiches.
Anyway, when you all settle down into tea, probably at least your first cup, almost like a whirlwind, your aunt enters. As you said before, she is this 6 foot tall woman with she doesn't wear she had a jacket on, but as soon as she enters, she kind of just throws it on a chair with a sigh of like, oh, finally I'm off work. this wavy dark hair and olive skin, and as you can see this scar that goes from her shoulder down to her arm. Lillian, my darling. And she immediately
Hello.
comes over to you and basically almost pulls you out of your chair to give you a hug and 2 side cheek kiss. I can't believe you brought friends. You didn't tell me you had friends. Hello, my dears.
Hello, it's just lovely to meet you. Ishmael stands up
You didn't
properly.
say. I didn't know how many to set the table out for, so I had them do the whole spread. I wasn't sure if I should have brought out drinks, but if we want also bring out drinks, we can do that as well. I know I have a lovely glass of a bottle of red wine that has not been opened yet.
Oh, this is quite lovely. Oh, also we brought dumplings.
Beautiful, thank you. Sorry, I am so very rude. My name is Solara Kusk, Lillian's aunt. It is a pleasure.
Madam Solara, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Ishmael of the Order of Goetica. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Hello.
I think Roshni holds out a hand. I'm Roshni, Order of Weavers, if that's important.
Not really. I don't practice magic, but it is always an interesting bit of information to learn about anybody, to be quite honest.
Stand up, extend a hand. Eleanor, it's good to meet you.
She will actually bend down and kiss your hand. Listen, I said she was vodka aunt, and she's in the disaster lesbian category, all right?
Okay, let's go. I blush.
Are you my new auntie?
I should look over at Lillian.
A
It's like
pleasure.
mostly what?
A pleasure.
Pleasure is mine.
Alecto looks like an odd duck. They didn't even sit down at the table. They have kind of just been moving through this house like a big raggedy dog on a leash being pulled by all the other, by everyone else.
Yes.
They do not look like they want to be here. They're super stiff. And I think that they had been kind of like weirdly enchanted with a bit of like porcelain, beautiful something like on a random rich person thing that doesn't have any meaning. They were just kind of like looking at it really hard, and I think they were like about to touch it as the aunt had come in, and they very quickly like put their hand down, and they're just really awkwardly standing kind of a few feet away from the table.
Do you need a drink maybe to help you loosen up a bit? I know. I hope you don't mind. I will be getting a drink because I had a day at work. Do any of you mind?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Please help yourself. And she kind of like waves an arm at this far wall, which has like decanters of liquor and like shot glasses, which she makes her way over to and pours herself a drink.
I have a question, actually.
Sure.
Alecto is very, I would say, semi-familiar with wounds.
Mhm.
Is that scar anything like recognizable, like from a blade or a type of instrument? I love questions, Mare. I love to cause problems on purpose.
I honestly don't know, so I'm gonna pull a card for this.
Yeah, because I just threw that fact in for just today. She
Yeah.
doesn't know about the wound.
On the Indigo Sun, I have pulled the Relentless Rumor. So that is Secrets, Ravens, Books, and Flames, Endless Half-Truth, Incessant Drives, Ruthlessness.
I pull that card a lot.
Yeah, I swear I shuffled. I swear. Okay. I will say you do recognize a blade wound.
Alecto now feels bad about bringing a sword into the house.
She didn't give it a second look. Yeah, she pours a glass of some bright amber liquid and turns to you, leaning up against the not the wall, but the counter area desk that's holding, I think, decanters. It's lovely to see you. I honestly wasn't expecting you for another couple days. Normally we have our set schedule, but I'm not saying that I am not excited to see your lovely face and that you brought some lovely friends.
Yes, I'm sorry for just dropping in and bringing everyone without
A friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Yes, well, without warning or unscheduled, but
Please,
we had
please.
some.
Work has been a pain in my ass. So, I am more than happy telling my boss I'm going to take a personal half day. They can kiss my ass.
Well, see, I remember you spoke about that before and how things weren't matching up, and well, with what had happened at the fridge.
Yes, I'm
And-
super sorry about that. Tragic. Must have been terrible.
Yes, well, there was someone involved who might have known mother and father, and I was hoping if maybe you would know them, and if it could have anything to do with the shortage, your numbers being off at work.
Normally, we don't talk about Winifred and Osmond.
Yes, this is not this is something that just recently came up. Does the name Kieran ring any bells?
I'm gonna pull another card.
Ishmael pays particular attention.
On the Gray Sun, I freaking hate this card. The art on this card. The Harvesting Spider.
Oh my god, this card again?
Listen, I shuffled, okay?
I believe you.
Action, labor, and stealth. Red magic is enhanced, blue is hindered. Vaguely. It sounds familiar. I don't know them.
Oh.
Your parents often talked about a colleague.
Could Ishmael... Never mind. I was going to say something and I thought better of it.
She kind of swirls her drinks and like looks at the five of you. Are you sure would you like anything stronger than tea?
No, thank you.
Perhaps in a moment. Kieran is someone I know. And...
Well, Winifred and Osmond knew a lot of people, so... Makes sense.
Mhm.
She takes a nice big drink.
Does she look like she is kind of like getting into herself, like purposely hiding something?
I don't know.
think Ishmael's trying to read her body language.
Do you want to roll?
Yes.
Please roll me anything that would involve seeing motives or anything along those lines. You can add interaction money to increase your venture.
Yep. I was thinking of using interaction, actually. So.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I will spend interaction.
Okay.
And I will do my roll.
I didn't give a level to this character. It's fine.
Cool. So I rolled and that is a +1, right? And the empath +1 is gone now, right?
No, you are a you're not a stoic, right?
I'm an empath.
Nope, you do not get the +1.
Okay. So that is a 7 total.
Yeah, so you can read her pretty well. She is more or less an open book. She is
Okay.
very relaxed, especially in her own home, especially with Lillian here. Yeah, she's very chill. Not gonna
Okay,
lie.
perfect. All right. Yes,
During
this-
that, Lillian would actually pull out a picture of him. Because we have that picture of Kieran. This is his photo.
You didn't get any pictures of Kieran.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Sorry, I did mention it in your thing. I sent like a block of text at some point. There were no pictures of
You're
Kieran
right.
in any of your developed photos. So they were very good at what they were doing. Wow.
You're right. I did read that.
It's okay. There was a lot of information flying around in development scenes.
I see.
Would you have pictures, Ishmael?
You know he would.
Would you bring
He
them?
totally would, wouldn't he? He totally also would carry him with it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I didn't think about it till you asked me that, Mer. But of course he would.
Do you show them?
Yep. You see Ishmael kind of nods like, oh, perhaps a visual might be more helpful, and you see him reach towards that journal that he carries so close to him and open, and the right at the front page pulls out a picture of Kiran, and I think it would be a picture of both of them, Kiran and Ishmael.
Yeah, there is a very relaxed, easygoing expression on Kiran's face. As referenced from before, Kiran has light brown skin, this messy, dark hair that kind of is always perfectly disheveled, and these beautiful hazel eyes. And do you show everybody?
I think I don't know how everyone's situated seating wise. I don't think Ishmael's making any attempt to hide it. So if anyone's nearby and cares to see.
Roshni. This individual looks extremely familiar to you. Secret number 5 in our list of your secrets known. It is that individual.
I think Roshni will I think maybe Roshni was sitting maybe a little ways away from Ishmael, so they have to kind of like croon over a little bit to be able to see this picture. But once they see it and like the cogs kind of go in their head, they're like, wait a minute, I think I've met that person before.
Ishmael's face snaps at you.
Okay, wait, hold on. Question for Mayor. How long ago was this?
Like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Fuck off.
So less than the amount of time they've been gone.
Okay. Yeah, it was really strange, actually. I was just in a local prosody, and all of a sudden this person came up to me. Kiran came up to me. Kiran seemed, well, burdened by something, and I gave them my services, and then they were no longer burdened. This was a couple months ago.
I'm sorry, a couple months ago. Like, you said that they used your services.
Yes,
what kind?
And I think Roshni kind of like leans back a little on the couch that they're sitting on. And now, as they're leaning back, the satchel that they carry with them...
It's a fainting couch. It's totally a fainting couch.
The satchel that they carry with them is kind of like more prominent, and like you can see it more in this moment. With the same sort of like the same like little book with the blue ribbon hanging out of it. Yes, I offer a very particular service. It's how I get information. If you have something that you're not quite willing to tell other people, you can tell me. And in response, you no longer have to be burdened by that information, and they kind of pat the satchel a little bit, I retain a memory of it.
Do you retain the only memory of it?
No, you see, secrets don't quite work that way. It's possible for multiple people to know the information and for it to still remain a secret. It's not a hard and fast rule, but something tells me that this one, only I know it.
And Kiran.
And Kiran. But Ishmael, and Roshni kind of leans towards Ishmael again. I don't think this is information that is pertinent to finding Kiran. And quite frankly, it would be against everything that I stand for, everything that I work for, to tell you what they told me. You'll have to trust me on that.
You see Ishmael's left hand shake a little bit. Closes it tight in a fist. I will trust your word on that.
Ishmael, darling, I would not hurt you. Not intentionally. And believe me when I say that this information, it does not bring us closer to finding them.
You see him nod and push, because he's already got the photo in front of Sarah, and will scribble a little timeline of 6 months, and then 2 months, and then now.
Question for Mare.
Yes.
This prosody that I met Kieran in,
Yes.
is it in any one person's particular neighborhood?
Depends. Where were you that night?
That's a good question.
Let me think for a second. So we've got Alecto, fancy schmancy place. We've got Eleanor with HSA Arkin, fancy Ishmael, and Lillian's odd job neighborhood. I would say if this was in anyone's neighborhood, this would be Eleanor's.
Okay. I think in that case, Roshni would also relay the information that this prosody that they met Gideon in was in Eleanor's neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Well,
sorry,
I do recognize him. I didn't mean to interrupt your little shindig, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
They're very easy looking on the eyes, I would remember. But yes, your parents, Lillian, did a lot of work with this individual. I don't know what. It's goetic business. Magic is not my thing, and it's mostly just a service I hire. No offense to you, Visley.
So you have seen this person at the house?
Oh, long time ago. Yes, this was before the war and before you came back. Even before you left, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they talked to your parents at some point. And then one day you and they were gone.
And you don't find it odd that Lillian has no memory of this?
They kind of... Solara puts her glass down for a second. I'm not going to pretend to even... I'm not going to pretend to understand magic and the way this traveling between the suns work. I know the high level stuff and what each sun does. You know, silver, there's angels there, things create. The green has a lot of wildlife and stuff like that. What I know about shadow is it's a lie. And a lot of my Visley friends, when they came back, they did not come back the same. So really all I'm doing is trying to be a good aunt for Lillian. I don't understand it. Like, yes, I find it odd, but there's not much I can do about it.
No, I understand. I understand why. It is just, pardon me, Madam Solera. It's, we're just finding ourselves perhaps scratching the surface of something that runs perhaps very deep.
So,
that's all.
Why are you trying to find this person exactly?
We believe that they were responsible for what happened at the fridge.
And you're not going to leave this to the local jury?
I mean, that
They stole something out of my shop. I would like to thank them personally.
She kind of eyes
Ishmael
your sword.
shoots you a look.
She looks at your sword.
And Ishmael would also like to thank them personally, I think.
He's still looking at you.
Thank personally. Uh-huh. And she pours herself another glass to the top. At this point, she's probably had like 3 glasses of something hard.
Queen.
Yeah.
Queenship.
I really just would like to know if they know about what happened to me or my parents or what this is about.
Well, I can see what I can do. I haven't seen them since before the war, but who knows? Maybe there's, I don't know. Your parents did a lot of work here sometimes when they needed somewhere quiet because, you know, Fartown. There's a reason why a lot of the kids not living in Fartown call it Fart Town with all the noises and the stink. So they did sometimes come here to do work when they need something quiet. I can see if there's anything that they might have left here.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you also had said something about Roshni. I believe you brought it up as well. Emotional the leaves.
Oh, yes. This Bress Lawn, the owner of the Tryst of the Heart, believe, and I'm sure you'll appreciate this.
Did you say
Solara. I did not. I did not. Do not put puns in my mouth.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was hearing correctly.
Don't you dare.
I literally was just like, wow, Hamnah,
Don't
wow.
you dare. No,
Okay,
that was
Hamnah
not.
does not do puns. Okay, got it.
I think like Roshni like kind of gets a little bit excited at this. I think Solara, you will understand this. You seem like a woman who appreciates the right information. You see,
Makes my job easier.
Breslan,
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard.
Yep.
Wait,
Who do
you
think-
know?
Who do you think is doing the investigation and on all this stuff? I work for the emotion mills. Like, who do you think, not me specifically, but other people in the corporation have... He was selling leaves illegally. So, yes, I am aware.
Ishmael's gonna look at Roshni.
Roshni's gonna look at Ishmael and then just kind of like nod very like slightly so that ideally Solara can't see, but Ishmael can. And then just look back at Solara. Yes, and we were just interested in finding Bress if we could, if you know where he is.
You need to make a roll.
What am I rolling for?
You need to make a roll to convince her, hey, I want to see this dude. Because that's what
Okay.
it sounds like you're doing.
It is what I'm doing. Okay, I have my shadow skill is persuasion, so and it's a 2. So am I allowed to add that to this?
You can.
And is this an interaction?
It is.
Okay, I will spend a bene to do that. And remind me again, is it 1 or 2 d10s?
1. This is a
1d10.
mundane task.
All right. I got a 9.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
great. I see what you're putting down. And I will see what I can do. But why do you want to see Bress?
Well, you see, all of these different happenings, goings on in Saturnine, it's very odd that they're happening at the same time, don't you think? So we think maybe there might be some connection between the two. Couldn't hurt to ask. And Roshni, very deliberately does not bring up that they know that Kieran is the one selling these leaves to Bress.
I will see what I can do. It's not my department. But if you think, for whatever forsaken reason you think, why these things are connected, honestly, it would not be the weirdest thing I've done or heard of. But I make no promises. But if you think it's
You
going to
seem
help...
like a resourceful woman.
I am. And if it's for Lillian, I will try very hard. I have some people that owe me favors.
We are very appreciative for all of your help.
In response to Roshni's explanation as to why she wants to see this person, I will sort of mutter into my tea. At least they don't want to thank him personally.
Now look who's being mean to Cursemaker. It ain't me.
It's technically yeah. Yep, Cursemaker. It's great. It's fine.
Behind the mask, it's like the cat knife.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with? You are more than welcome to stay as long as you like, even if you want to stay the evening. I can set some rooms up for the 5 of you.
That is very kind. I've already felt like we've intruded, at least me personally, I felt like I've already intruded enough on your time and wisdom.
Yes, thank you so much, Aunt. We will probably be getting home so you can have your evening back.
Of course.
But thank you so much for your help and any help in the future.
Anything for you, my dear. And let me know if you want more of those family photos that I found that I was telling you about the other day.
Yes. Any photos help. Ishmael, I'll show you those when we get back to the house.
Yes.
Before we leave, Roshni is going to look to see what kind of jewelry is Solara wearing, or are there jewelry dishes placed around here? Basically, they're trying to see if they.
Don't rob my aunt.
No, I'm not trying to rob Solara. Don't worry. They're trying to see if they have jewelry that is similar to the item that was stolen.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
If she does, it's nothing that's visible. But the answer is no.
Yeah, I suppose, is there anything in the house that calls out to Cursemaker in particular?
What do you think specifically looking for? And I will have to ask you to use your psychometry and roll if you're looking for something specific.
Something loud. I think they already used their psychometry. I don't know if I can use it twice in one day.
You can. It's based off how much sorcery you have. Because your psychometry is
I do have enough.
1. Yeah, so you should.
Thank you so much. I had already used that to tap into Kieran. So anything that's still resonating in that frequency, I suppose.
Okay. Sure. You will need to roll. So you're gonna roll a regular die, and I think it's also a +1 die. I believe so. So I got this wrong last week. You're gonna roll 3 dice, two magic and a regular. So you get a +1 from the level to your venture. Let me know if you get any zeros on the magic dice.
Are we heading out now?
I'll roll those first.
Are you heading out after Alecto does the?
Yeah. Yeah, is that what's going on?
Okay.
Yeah, I think just on the way out.
Okay, because I have one more thing I would like to do as well.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Ishmael's just making small talk with.
Everyone try to rob the rich lady.
What'd you get? See?
That was funny enough, I'm sorry. I need to do that again. How do I tell it to you? What do I get on the...
Just tell me the numbers on your D10s.
Okay, 7, 3, and 6.
The 7 and the 6. Okay, yeah, those will do it. I will say anything that's kind of on the same frequency as Kieran. Lillian is the photo album she hands Lillian. Not a lot, just like smidgens. And Alex, you said Eleanor was going to do something on the way out.
Yeah, I will sort of stand by my whatever sort of place setting I was, sipping my tea at for just a second longer than everyone else, as if I'm getting something out of my bag or something like that. And I want to surreptitiously leave a business card where I was sitting.
You can do that. Is there anything else last minute anyone would like to do before we end for the night? Okay. I have one thing. It's just a miscellaneous footnote. But Eleanor, when you get home to the house without a key, you have...
fuck.
It's nothing bad. It's nothing... Well, it's nothing... You're not meeting an NPC. Let's put it that way. Kind of taped to the front door of the house without a key is a notice from your lovely neighbor Arkin saying that with a list of demands on how you need to fix up this house to make it prettier in the neighborhood. She's being a bitch. There
Yeah,
is-
sure.
Yeah. And it's on the front of the house.
So I would like to write up a bill for like each of the things and send it back.
Okay, beautiful. You know she lives in a birdhouse a couple blocks down. And I think that's it for the... Oh, wait, go ahead, C.
I think that once they're out of the house, Alecto will kind of side up next to Ishmael, since they did have that tense exchange, and just kind of look down. When we spoke earlier, I thought that perhaps we were on the same page. The way you say my closest friend does not resonate with the same kind of love I would expect it to.
I am uncertain on what you're trying to get at, Honored Cursemaker. All I said, that look specifically, was more that I thought we understood that I have faith that whatever Kiran is involved in is not of their own choosing. They shouldn't have to pay for that.
And I do not entertain false hope. I hope for your sake that your friend is not acting of their own volition, but perhaps there are things you didn't know about each other.
Some truths still persist in illusions. I know Kiran like I know my own soul.
And that is perhaps the most dangerous piece of information I've learned today. Good night, Ishmael.
Good night, Honored Cursemaker.
April!
Why don't you call... Why don't you call me Alecto from now on? Perhaps we can get to know each other a little more.
It will be my pleasure then, Alecto.
And they disappear into the night like the giant 6'8" edgy bastard they are.
Who's not a fucking edgy bastard? Actually, there's several non-edgy bastards.
Got first name privileges.
Anyway.
Game respects game.
So, I think this actually puts us at the end now. I think. Okay. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for session 2 of the Soul's Confidant, an Invisible Sun campaign. So what we're going to quickly do, everyone's going to go around and say who they are, where we can find them, did you advance your character arc, and if you got a joy or despair for the session and where we can find you. Let's go with Val. Why not? Let's go Val first.
Really? You going with me first?
Yeah, because you're...
Oh, okay. What am I doing? My name?
Yes.
All right.
Tell us
Cool.
all the
All right.
everything.
Hi, everyone. I'm Valiant, also known as Auto Spirit, but I'm a TTRPG performer, and I stream regularly on Twitch, twitch.tv/AutoSpiritBear, and you can find me at Valiant on most socials. I play Ishmael, and in terms of furthering his character arc, yes, I think we did significantly.
Mm-hmm. You get an acumen for that.
Amazing. I will make a note of that before I forget promptly. And in terms of joy and despair, this always gets me because I think it's a despair.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'm fine with despair. You can get extra acumen out of that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and what's your favorite part tonight?
My favorite part tonight, I think... Oh, there's so many good points, but I think I really liked how we ended it with that moment between Ishmael and Alecto. I think it was kind of like a very interesting relationship that had tentative dancing around certain things, but game respects game, and I appreciate that.
And let's go, since we are talking about Alecto. See?
Hi y'all, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. If you like what I do here, being a big giant hottie who sticks their foot in their mouth, you can find me being that also somewhere else on specifically Transplanar RPG. Transplanar RPG is an all transgender person of color led 100% homebrew D&D 5th edition actual play live stream. We do stream on Saturdays at 3 p.m. US Central Time. We are also finishing up the finale episode of our mini series, which the beloved Hamnah is in, and we will be playing together on Tuesday night. So if you want more of that, tune in at 7 p.m. US Central Time on Transplanar. I played Alecto tonight, and I would say, funny enough, similar to last episode, I think they get a joy for this session. Okay. I think they have enjoyed getting some more answers because they didn't get very many answers in their downtime. So I think there's a joy for this session. Also fun to press everyone's buttons. And should I also say my favorite part of the session? Oh, my arc.
Oh yeah, did you advance your arc?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's okay.
It's okay. Not every time. And my favorite part of the session. Oh my gosh. My favorite part of the session was pressing Roshni's buttons when they refused to get off the desk.
Hell yeah. Roshni, since we're talking about Roshni.
Hello everybody, my name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at hshahid_, that's HSHAHID_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. Like C mentioned, on Tuesday, we will be wrapping up the mini-series on Transplanar RPG's channel, so please come watch that if you like disaster queers. There's so many of us on that show.
The whole cast.
So many. But for today, I was Roshni, and what am I supposed to say? Did they advance their arc? I think they advanced their arc. I don't know about you, Mayor, but I feel like we got pretty.
Yep.
We did a step. And joy or despair? I think today was joyful for once. For goddamn once, I think Roshni actually got a joy out of our session. Do I have to justify that? Can I just say
No, you don't
that?
have to justify it.
Okay, cool. Favorite part of the session? I'm also gonna echo C's sentiments. That scene with Alecto and Roshni was primo. I loved it. Also, I got a dagger out of it, so I feel like that's amazing. And I will definitely be using that.
I think it's like till the next sets or something like that.
It depletes 0 through 3 check each hour.
Okay, so it's going to be a number of hours until you roll between a 0 and a 3 on a d10. So minimum 1 hour is as long as you have it.
Well, that's fine. Roshni's going to make that hour count.
At minimum.
That's it for me.
Cool. Let's do Alex.
That's me. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. You can find me on Twitter at PhoenixAxolotl. I use they and pronouns, and when I'm not doing this on Twitter, usually suffering through my final semester of college and occasionally tweeting about RPGs and stuff like that. Currently, this is my only project, but once I finally get out of school, ideally, that will change. Ideally. Anyway, let's see. For tonight, gosh, in a way, I feel like Eleanor regressed in her arc, but I don't know if that counts for anything. She definitely engaged with her arc.
Oh, she
that's
totally
for
engaged
sure.
with it.
So acumen on that ?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if any progress is made, but
it happened.
I thought about it. And let's see. Definitely despair for tonight. Despair for tonight. And gosh, favorite moments of tonight were either the surprise appearance of the hot card. That was very nice, very well done. I also really liked the description of Ishmael's snake tattoos kind of like doing their thing, just kind of vibing along with the conversation in CM's shop. That was really cool.
And last but not least, April.
Hi everyone, I'm April. Tonight I played Lillian. You can find me all over the internet as April Raygun. Have a new show starting on Tuesday called Camp Half-Blood, where we play. It's based off the Percy Jackson world, where we play the kids of gods, and I play the daughter of Eris. So what's the worst that could happen? And on Fridays, you can catch me on Slady's ATL, where we play a Magical Girls TTRPG called Hunt for the Heart Shards, where I accidentally just became the Queen of Shadows. So yeah,
I'm sorry?
I've turned evil in like 3 games this last month, so...
Is that going to happen
Lillian?
here? Do we need to be concerned? Do we need to be worried?
That's been a
Listen,
switch in the last couple games.
I added a song to the playlist specifically for Lillian, so maybe, who knows? I don't know.
But for tonight, I think I advanced my storyline.
Yes.
Like there was a lot of talk about my storyline, so I get that. I think I get a joy. This was a pleasant day with my friends, taking them to my aunt, proving that I had friends, that people who are willing to work with me and help me. And so I think I deserve a joy for that.
Yes.
And my favorite moment, everyone had so the big moments are wonderful. Yes, the super hot moment with Alecto, the really cool talk with, I'm just gonna say the super hot moment with Alecto, and you can fill in the blank with who that was with. But it's the little things. It's Ishmael, or Val, you talk about the way your tattoos move. C, talking about the way you're cleaning your sword and how that's become like your emotional support. Alex, your interaction with the children.
Gosh.
And Hamnah, of course, just everything you do. I just love the little things everyone's character does, because it just shows how much you've thought about these little things. And I think that's what makes it better.
And I think that comes to me. Hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. This is my only stream project right now, I think. I am also one of the producers and part of the leadership team over here on Friends Who Roll Dice. Please check out tomorrow's stream, Mind and the Martyr, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a one shot coming up that Alex and I are part of. I'm just gonna sneak peek announce it here because I'm the producer and I am making the promo image, so why the fuck not? We're all playing a different head of Tiamat, GM'd by Kiss of Hemlock on Twitter. It's gonna be great. So anyway, that's gonna be nice. Probably gonna make it into a charity stream, so please stay tuned. And speaking of charity streams, this coming for Saturday the 13th at 3 p.m. Central over on the Free Forge, I will be running a game of Witches and Spellcraft, which is an indie game by Margaret Crone, where we are raising money for Toys for Tots. So please come join us, help us raise some money, and it's gonna be awesome. My favorite part was making Eleanor uncomfortable on the train with her reflection. What? You did this to yourself. Anyway, everyone have a lovely evening. We will be here next week for session 3, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.